What if I told you you spent 12 years in school, sitting in classrooms, taking notes, studying for exams, memorizing formulas, remembering historical dates, preparing for life, but nobody actually prepared you for the one thing that controls most of your adult decisions: money. Not how to multiply it, not how to protect it, not how to manage it. Just money. You learned algebra. You learned about the Civil War. You learned how to write essays. But did anyone ever sit you down and explain how taxes really work? Did anyone explain what a credit score actually measures? Did anyone show you what happens when you only make the minimum payment on a credit card? Probably not. And that's not an accident. Because the moment you turn 18, something changes. Credit card offers start appearing in your mailbox. Pre-approved, easy approval, 0% interest for now. Student loan documents get placed in front of you. Banks suddenly treat you like an adult, but without ever training you to think like one. You are expected to make financial decisions worth tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes hundreds of thousands, without ever taking a real-life money class. No one explains what compound interest really means. Let's slow that down. Compound interest. When you invest, compound interest can make your money grow faster over time. But when you're in debt, it works against you. If you carry a balance on your credit card at 22% interest, and you only pay the minimum, you're not just paying for what you bought. You're paying for the privilege of staying in debt. Month after month, year after year. And no one shows you the real math. They don't show you a 20-year repayment schedule. They don't show you how much you'll pay in total interest. They don't show you how long it can quietly follow you. And yet, you sign because everyone else is signing. Now let's talk about something most Americans don't fully understand: your credit score. In America, your credit score becomes your real report card. Landlords check it before renting you an apartment. Banks check it before approving a loan. Car dealerships check it before offering financing. Even some employers review it during hiring. But how many high school graduates know what makes up a credit score? Payment history, about 35%. Credit utilization, about 30%. Length of credit history. Credit mix, new inquiries. How many teenagers understand that using more than 30% of their credit limit can hurt their score? How many know that closing their oldest credit card can actually lower their score? Most people learn the hard way. After a missed payment, after interest charges pile up, after being denied for an apartment, that lesson can cost thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about student debt. Teenagers, sometimes just 17 years old, sign for loans larger than car loans, sometimes larger than mortgages in other countries. They're told it's an investment in your future. And education absolutely can be valuable, but what's rarely explained clearly is how long repayment actually takes, how interest grows while you're still in school, how deferment increases total cost, how refinancing works, what happens if your income is lower than expected, or what happens if your career path changes. At 17, most people can't legally rent a car, but they can sign for $50,000 in debt. Years later, many people realize they're still paying for a decision made before they fully understood it. Debt isn't just numbers, it shapes your life. It affects the job you accept, the city you move to, whether you buy a home, whether you start a business, whether you feel financially safe. And most people were never shown the full picture. Then comes your first real paycheck. You feel proud, you worked hard, you earned it. You check your salary, and then you see federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, Medicare. Suddenly your paycheck is smaller than you imagined. Nobody clearly explained tax brackets. Nobody explained that earning more money doesn't mean all your income is taxed at a higher rate. Nobody explained the difference between gross income and net income. Nobody explained deductions or tax-advantaged accounts, or how contributing to a 401k can reduce taxable income. So many adults go through life thinking taxes are random, instead of understanding the system, and when you don't understand the system, you can't legally optimize it. Now here's something even more dangerous, because it's invisible. Inflation. Every year the cost of goods and services rises. Groceries, gas, rent, healthcare, maybe just 2%, maybe 3%. Sometimes more. It doesn't feel dramatic, but over 10 years, 20 years, it adds up. If your money is just sitting in a basic savings account earning 0.5% interest and inflation is 3%, you're losing purchasing power, even if your bank balance stays the same. That means your future self can buy less with the same amount of money. But how many schools explain? Index funds? Long-term investing? Compound growth over decades? Retirement accounts like 401ks and IRAs? The difference between saving and investing? Saving protects money. Investing grows money. Without investing, your money works for the bank. With investing, your money can start working for you. That difference changes everything. Here's an uncomfortable truth. The modern school system was built during the industrial era. Its goal was to prepare reliable workers, factory schedules, structured systems, following instructions, meeting deadlines. It wasn't originally designed to create investors or financially independent thinkers or entrepreneurs. That doesn't mean school is useless. Education is powerful, but it has limitations. Financial literacy often becomes something you must learn on your own, and that realization? It's powerful, because once you understand that money is a skill, everything changes. Money is not magic, it's not luck, it's not reserved for the elite. It's a skill, and skills can be learned. When you understand how to build a simple budget, how to track spending, the difference between assets and liabilities, how credit works, how taxes function, how compound interest can work in your favor, how long-term investing builds wealth, you stop feeling controlled by money. You stop reacting. You start planning. Instead of asking, can I afford this? You start asking, is this building my future? Instead of living paycheck to paycheck, you build an emergency fund. Instead of fearing credit, you use it strategically. Instead of letting inflation erode your savings, you position yourself for growth. In a world that runs on money, understanding the rules of the game might be the most important education you ever give yourself. No one is coming to hand you this knowledge. But once you learn it, you unlock something bigger than income. You unlock options. Freedom to choose where you work. Freedom to move cities. Freedom to say no. Freedom to start something new. Freedom to retire on your terms. School taught you how to pass exams. Now it's your turn to learn how to build a life. Because financial literacy isn't just about getting rich. It's about not being trapped, and that lesson is worth more than any textbook ever assigned.